Good day, agents! We are Pair 5 and today we will be talking about our mission Operation EMO or Operation Emotional Intelligence. So what is emotional intelligence? Basically, it describes the ability, capacity, skill, or self-perceived ability to identify, assess, and manage the emotions of oneself, of others, and of groups. It is also the process on how individuals learn how to discriminate among emotions and to use that knowledge to grow both emotionally and intellectually. So dito, you have the capability to recognize your own emotions and even those of others. You also learn how to discern between different feelings and label them appropriately. You also ought to use emotional information to guide thinking and behavior. And last, you manage and or adjust emotions to adapt to environments or achieve your goals. Next is the 4 domains of emotional intelligence. So individuals have different personalities, wants, needs, and ways of showing their emotions. Navigating through this requires tact and shrewdness, especially if one hopes to succeed in life. This is where emotional intelligence theory helps. There are 5 domains of emotional intelligence which cover together personal and social competences. These are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. So there are 3 types of self-awareness. These are emotional awareness, accurate self-assessment, and self-confidence. Emotional awareness is recognizing one's emotions and their effects. Accurate self-assessment is knowing one's strengths and limits, and self-confidence is the sureness about one's self-worth and capabilities. Next is self-management or self-regulation. So there are 5 types of self-management. These are self-control, trustworthiness, conscientiousness, adaptability, and innovativeness. So self-control is managing disruptive emotions and impulses. Trustworthiness is maintaining standards of honesty and integrity. Conscientiousness is taking responsibility for personal performance. Adaptability, which is the flexibility in handling change. And innovativeness, which is being comfortable with and open to novel ideas and new information. Next is social awareness. So under this, we have empathy, service orientation, developing others, leveraging diversity, and political awareness. So for empathy, it means sensing others' feelings and perspective and taking an active interest in their concerns. Service orientation is anticipating, recognizing, and meeting customers' needs. Developing others is sensing what others need in order to develop and bolstering their abilities. Leveraging diversity is cultivating opportunities through diverse people. And lastly, political awareness, which means reading a group's emotional currents and power relationships. So for the last domain, we have relationship management, or also known as social skills. So under this, we have 8 categories. The first one is influence, which means wielding effective tactics for persuasion. Next is communication, which means sending clear and convincing messages. Next is leadership, which means inspiring and guiding groups and people. Next is change catalyst, which means initiating or managing change. Next, we have conflict management, which means negotiating and resolving disagreements. Next is building bonds, which means nurturing instrumental relationships. 7th is collaboration and cooperation, which means working with others towards shared goals. And last is team capabilities, which means creating group synergy in pursuing collective goals. Now let us move on to the importance of emotional intelligence. So first, let us go to the contribution of EI to oneself. People who possess a high degree of emotional intelligence know themselves very well and are also able to sense the emotion of others. Here, you gain affability, resilience, and optimism. Next naman is the benefits of emotional intelligence in all other aspects. So after you gain the said characteristics, you will be able to improve in performances, organizational productivity, and interpersonal communication. So after gaining and performing all the said characteristics, the impact or effect of EI to an individual is higher productivity and success at what they do. Now let us go to the positive psychology theory. So we can actually relate this theory to the importance of emotional intelligence, as it states, happiness promotes success across various arenas of human functioning. So this theory is a relatively new form of psychology under emotional intelligence. It emphasizes the positive influences in a person's life, and with this, an individual is able to develop character strengths, optimistic emotions, and constructive institutions. This theory is based on the belief that happiness is derived from both emotional and mental factors. So let us now go into the 3 ways on how to tap your emotional intelligence. So syempre, there are a lot of ways on how to tap your EI, pero hindi na muna natin itatakal lahat kasi masyadong mahaba. Kaya we narrowed it down to 3. If you would like to know more, it is recommended na mag-research for additional information. So according to Alan Allard, ang sabi niya na ang talent, experience, and IQ will get you into a job or college. Pero kung gusto mo pang mas galingan, you will need more than that, which is emotional intelligence. So yung unang way on how to tap into your EI is huwag masyado maging overconfident. Dito marami sa atin naging complacent kapag narinig natin na magaling tayo mag-communicate or magaling tayo sa public relations and how we lead ourselves. In order for us to avoid that, kailangan nating tanungin ang ating mga sarili na ano ba ang ating mga blind spots when it comes to our EI. Actually, marami sa atin ang may blind spots, but ang problem lang dito ay hindi tayo nagsisik to find out what they are. Next naman is to make journaling a habit. A big part of EI is to know yourself. Marami din sa atin na sa tingin ay kilala natin ang ating mga sarili, but that is actually a mistake for most of us. To solve this, it is recommended na mag-journal every day or at least once a week. You will be surprised about what you learn about yourself, yung mga emotions mo, your concerns, how you respond to adversity, how you respond to good fortune, and so on. Journaling will uncover aspects of yourself that you're not aware of and that will raise your EI. Last is to challenge yourself. Ang tanong naman dito is, how emotionally intelligent are we if we stay in our comfort zones? Marami sa atin naging comfortable lang kapag kasama ang mga close friends kumpara sa mga tao na hindi naman natin masyadong vibe. And understandable naman ito. Pero yun nga, if you want to grow your EQ, stay with people who are not so easy to listen to, work with, or collaborate with. We could all actually benefit from challenging ourselves to find ways to grow our EI. Next is paano ba natin i-develop ang ating emotional intelligence? So let's start with the foundation of EI. EI draws from the branches of behavioral, which is the ability to perceive and monitor one's own and others' feelings and emotions, emotional, which is to understand and discriminate among them, and communications theories, which is to use this information to guide or facilitate one's thinking and actions when communicating. So how do we achieve EI in a certain activity or task? First, it requires personal motivation. So an example of this would be the motivational activities that we do here in class right now. Or it could also be as simple as telling yourself that today I'm going to learn and I'm going to be open about it. Next is you need to have extensive practice in the acquired knowledge. So acquired knowledge is the knowledge you already know or that you already have. Next is that you need to be open to receive feedback, comments, and recommendations from others, whether it be positive or negative. Last is you need to reinforce new skills coming from these feedbacks, comments, and recommendations. Last is training programs. It is highly recommended to place individuals in learning and development training for the enhancement of emotional competence. Modern organizations now actually offer learning and development that is explicitly labeled as emotional intelligence or emotional competence training. In support, their leaders create and manage a working environment of flexibility, responsibility, standards, rewards, clarity, and commitment. Now let us go to the Mayer-Salovey-Caruso Emotional Intelligence Test. So this is a test that measures emotional intelligence through an individual's abilities to perceive, comprehend, act on, and manage emotional information. So after taking the test, an overall emotional intelligence score is reported using a scoring service. Now for the assessment, we will be testing your emotional intelligence capabilities. With this, you will be answering an MSc IT which was prepared by your agents. You may access the link below in the description box of this video. Remain calm but focused when answering the test honestly. Good luck, fellow agents!